Humans crossed dead space without existing. That sentence is impossible. I know. I filed it myself. I am Senior Observer Keth of the 7th Archive Swarm. My species remembers everything. We preserve facts. We erase myths. We measure civilizations by logic alone. Humans belonged in the myth vault. Every record agreed. No confirmed homeworld. No confirmed biology. No confirmed language. Only impossible stories. Ships that kept fighting after destruction. Soldiers who smiled while bleeding. A species that disappeared centuries before we reached the Orion Fringe. We called them a contagious legend. Then our sensors found a fleet. No origin. No warp signature. No construction history. It simply appeared beyond the veil. That violated every law of travel. I assumed the scanners had failed. They always do near dead space. Dead space kills everything. Signals decay. Matter fractures. Navigation collapses. No civilization enters it willingly. Nothing returns. That is why we built prisons around its borders instead of walls. Nature already guarded it. The fleet drifted silently. Hundreds of vessels. Black hulls. No visible weapons. No fleet markings recognized by any archive. I reported abandoned relics. It was the only reasonable answer. Then they changed formation. No engines ignited. No energy spike appeared. The ships simply moved, as though distance itself obeyed them. My second report blamed gravitational distortion. The scientists praised my logic. I felt satisfaction. Looking back, that was my last peaceful emotion. Our command vessel approached. Protocol demanded investigation. Ancient debris often contained valuable technology. Recovery drones launched. None returned. Not destroyed. Not damaged. They simply vanished from every sensor. I concluded the dead space had consumed them. Again, a perfect explanation. Then one returned. Only one. It docked automatically. Its memory banks contained nothing. Not corruption. Nothing. Entire centuries of stored information had become empty, like thoughts removed from existence. Our engineers panicked. I did not. Machines fail. That is normal. Fear is inefficient. Then we found footprints. Inside the drone. Impossible. The drone had no atmosphere. No biological chamber. No room for passengers. Yet muddy footprints crossed the ceiling. Not the floor. The ceiling. I explained it immediately. Magnetic contamination. Everyone accepted my report. They should not have. Hours later, crew cluster 9 disappeared. 23 mines. No distress signal. No battle. Only empty workstations. One untouched cup still releasing heat. I blamed quantum instability. Again, I truly believed it. Because the alternative made no sense. Our security drones reviewed every corridor. Nobody entered. Nobody exited. The crew simply stopped existing. Then we heard music, not through speakers, through the hull. Soft, slow, almost comforting. My hearing organs cannot process emotional frequencies. Yet something inside my nervous lattice slowed. Several workers stopped moving. One began walking toward the airlock. No orders. No hesitation. He smiled. My species does not smile. He opened the outer hatch. Vacuum took him instantly. His final expression remained peaceful. Medical teams searched for toxins. Nothing. I suggested resonance hallucinations. Again, logic demanded simple answers. The fleet remained silent. Watching. Always watching. Then a transmission arrived. No encryption. No demands. No threats. Only one sentence. We thought no one would come this far. The language translated itself. Impossible. Every species requires contextual decoding. This message ignored linguistics. It simply became understandable. Our linguists celebrated. I did not. Knowledge should have a source. This one did not. Admiral Sorek ordered a reply. No answer came. Instead, one human ship separated from the fleet. It advanced alone. No escort. No shields. No visible weapons. Arrogance. That was my conclusion. Predators display confidence before feeding. Civilizations display force before negotiation. Humans displayed neither. They approached like travelers visiting forgotten friends. Ridiculous behavior. Our flagship charged every weapon. The human vessel continued drifting. Our targeting systems locked, then unlocked, then locked again. Every computer disagreed with itself. Some identified the ship. Others insisted empty space occupied those coordinates. One navigation officer screamed. He claimed the vessel was both approaching and leaving simultaneously. His brain collapsed moments later. Medical scanners called it natural failure. Healthy brains do not liquefy naturally. Still, I accepted the report. The human vessel stopped exactly 1,000 kilometers away. No shields, no movement. Then a hatch opened. One figure stepped outside. Outside, without protection. No suit, no oxygen, no magnetic field, nothing. The human stood on empty space, calmly, looking directly toward us. I enlarged the image. Biped, average height, dark protective clothing, gray streaks through dark hair. One visible scar across the face. Old, very old, at least by human standards described in myths. The figure raised one hand. Greeting ritual, perhaps surrender, perhaps challenge. I confidently chose surrender. After all, no biological creature survives vacuum. Then the human waved. Actually waved. Like neighbors meeting across a garden. Several junior analysts laughed. I almost joined them. The human smiled, then disappeared. No flash, no warp, no teleportation signature. Simply gone. One heartbeat later, every alarm aboard our flagship activated. Internal sensors detected one unauthorized life form. Deck 12. Inside our ship. Impossible. Security teams surrounded the corridor. I observed remotely. The human walked slowly. Hands visible. No weapon. No fear. Every sealed blast door opened before reaching them. Nobody accessed the controls. The doors simply obeyed. Artificial intelligence denied responsibility. Power systems showed no malfunction. I proposed electromagnetic interference. Again, always another explanation. Always another comfortable lie. The security commander ordered the human to stop. The human did. Lost? The commander asked. The human tilted their head. No, they answered softly. I'm exactly where I hoped to be. Voice analysis detected honesty. The commander fired. 3 plasma rounds. Direct hits. The corridor vanished inside burning light. Temperatures exceeded stellar surface conditions. Nothing biological survives that. When the brightness faded, the human remained standing. Clothing untouched. Hair unmoved. Even the smile remained. I immediately realized my mistake. Not because the human survived. Because they looked disappointed. Not angry. Not threatened. Disappointed. As though expecting better from us. The commander fired again. Every weapon joined him. The corridor became an artificial sun. Metal flowed like water. Sensors failed. Communications collapsed. Half the deck melted. Silence followed. When emergency drones finally entered, the corridor was empty. No human. No bodies. No weapon fragments. Only one message burned in a molten alloy. Not carved. Not written. Changed at the molecular level. 5 simple words. We finally found intelligent neighbors. For the first time in my existence, I feared the myths were smaller than the truth. I wanted to believe it was a trick, an advanced illusion, a weapon that manipulated perception. That explanation survived exactly 43 seconds. Then our fleet began disappearing. Not exploding, not retreating, disappearing. Entire cruisers blinked out of existence between one sensor sweep and the next. No debris, no energy release, no distress calls. Only empty coordinates where thousands of minds had existed moments before. Admiral Sorek ordered full combat formation. Every cannon charged. Every shield reached maximum output. The command was simple. Destroy the human fleet. Our weapons fired together. Stars vanished behind the light. Enough plasma to crack moons crossed the void. For 9 endless seconds, nothing could survive inside that storm. Then the light faded. Every human ship remained exactly where it had been. Not a single scorch mark covered their hulls. One of my assistants whispered something impossible. They didn't block the attack. I replayed the recordings. He was right. The weapons had simply missed. Not physically, Reality itself had refused to let the shots touch them. I concluded they possessed probability manipulation. The physicists agreed. The humans proved us wrong again. Another transmission arrived. No encryption. No threat. Just one sentence. You keep aiming at where we were. No coordinates accompanied it. No explanation. Only confusion. How could a fleet exist somewhere other than where it appeared? Before anyone answered, the stars changed. Not outside. Inside my mind. Our navigation maps rewrote themselves. Constellations shifted. Entire sectors gained impossible histories. The archive screamed. Not people. The archive itself. Our living memory network had never produced emotion before. Millions of years of recorded history suddenly contained references to humanity. Old treaties, lost battles, shared discoveries, ancient warnings, records that had never existed, now always had. I searched my own memories. Nothing had changed. I still remembered a galaxy without humans. Why was I different? Then I realized the horror. Everyone else remembered both versions. Two contradictory lifetimes lived at once. Crew members collapsed. Scientists argued with themselves. Parents remembered children who had never been born. Others forgot families standing beside them. Civilization itself began tearing apart. Not because humans attacked, because history could not decide whether they had always existed. I blamed temporal contamination. It sounded scientific. It sounded safe. It was completely wrong. The human fleet finally moved. This time, engines ignited. Blue light. Simple. Beautiful. Ordinary. That frightened me more than everything before. Impossible beings should not have ordinary engines. They crossed the distance within seconds. Not by accelerating. By folding empty space like cloth. Our formation broke. Captains panicked. Some fled. Others charged. Neither choice mattered. Every human ship stopped beside one of ours. No firing. No boarding. No threats. Just silent observation. Like teachers watching frightened students. Admiral Sorek refused to yield. He activated the Singularity Lance. Our civilization built only one. It consumed a collapsing star. Entire galaxies respected its power. Its activation darkened nearby suns. Even the human ships turned toward us. For the first time, I believe they were worried. The lance fired. Space screamed. A river of compressed gravity swallowed everything ahead. The human flagship vanished. Cheers erupted across every channel. Then silence. A hand touched my shoulder. I spun around. The old human stood inside the bridge. No alarms. No open doors. No security failures. He simply existed there. Our guards froze. Not from fear. From certainty. They somehow knew attacking would accomplish nothing. The human looked at the admiral. You built it yourselves? His voice carried genuine admiration. The admiral raised another weapon. The human sighed. I was hoping you'd ask questions first. The shot never reached him. It stopped halfway. Not suspended. Growing old. I watched plasma decay into fading light. Seconds became years. The energy dissolved into nothing. I had no explanation left. The admiral charged personally. Our greatest warrior. Veteran of 87 campaigns. The human stepped aside. One movement. Nothing more. The admiral stumbled. The human caught him before he fell. Like a friend. Like an elder protecting a child. No strike followed. No revenge. Only disappointment. You still think strength means killing. The bridge became silent. The human looked through our forward viewport. His smile disappeared. Too late. Every sensor activated at once. Something enormous emerged behind the human fleet. Not ships. Planets. Thousands of worlds. Each surrounded by impossible structures. Artificial stars. Living rings. World-sized engines. Entire civilizations traveling together. I thought they were reinforcements. I was wrong. The human noticed my expression. They're refugees. One word. Nothing more. Then the truth arrived. The dead space was not empty. It was a shelter. A sanctuary hidden beyond reality. Every civilization facing extinction had been rescued there. Species erased from history. Worlds consumed by black holes. Empires destroyed by cosmic disasters. Even enemies who once hunted humanity. all alive, all protected. For thousands of years, humans had vanished because they had abandoned conquest. They had chosen guardianship instead. The myths had mistaken silence for extinction. Our entire galaxy had believed humanity was dead. Humanity had simply been busy saving everyone else. The old human looked directly at me. You called us monsters. I could not answer. You called us myths. Still nothing. Then he smiled again. We prefer that. My logical mind shattered. Every assumption I had ever trusted collapsed. I had spent my life believing power demanded domination. Humans possessed power beyond imagination. Yet they used it to hide, to protect, to wait. Suddenly alarms screamed again. Not ours. Theirs. A tear opened across the stars. Something emerged. Dark. Immense. Hungry. Even the human's calm expression hardened. Every refugee fleet retreated. Every human ship accelerated toward the darkness. Not away. Toward it. I misunderstood immediately. Finally, one last comforting mistake. They're attacking, I whispered. The old human looked at me with tired eyes. No. He watched billions of civilians fleeing behind him. We're buying them one more day. His fleet charged into the impossible darkness. Not one ship turned back. Not one asked for help. Not one expected to survive. For the first time in recorded history, my people abandoned observation. Every surviving vessel in our fleet turned and followed the humans. Not because we believed we could save them, because they had already saved us. Hours later, the darkness was gone. The human fleet was gone too. Only silence remained. Our sensors found no wreckage, no graves, no victory. Only one final transmission echoed across every star system. If the monsters disappear, be worthy of the myth. When I first heard humans cross dead space without existing, I laughed. Now I understand the truth. Humans never crossed dead space. They became the impossible place where everyone else could survive. When I first heard humans cross dead space without existing, I laughed. Now I understand the truth. Humans never crossed dead space. They became the impossible place where everyone else could survive. And somewhere beyond the stars, I know they're still watching, waiting, not for war, but for the next civilization that needs saving. Because legends never truly die. They simply become humanity. If you enjoyed this HFY story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more epic sci-fi adventures. Tell us in the comments, if humanity really existed like this, would you follow them into the unknown? Until next time, keep looking to the stars.